Dear viewers, welcome to this presentation on the periodic classification. In this section, we are going to discuss about periodicity and general periodic trends. A particular characteristic is said to be periodic if it repeats itself after regular intervals. Such things follow a certain trend, order, or pattern. For example, when elements are arranged according to their increasing atomic numbers, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium, just to mention the first 20 elements. The properties of these elements tend to repeat after certain intervals. By so doing, groups of elements with similar properties will appear, whereby each group will have the elements with similar properties. For example, group 1 elements, lithium, as an example of group 1 elements, has electron configuration of 2 electrons in the innermost shell and 1 electron in the outermost shell. Sodium has electronic configuration of 2 electrons in the innermost shell, 8 electrons in the middle shell, and 1 electron in the outermost shell. Potassium has 2 electrons in the innermost shell, the second shell with 8 electrons, the third shell with 8 electrons, and the outermost shell with only 1 electron. So these elements which belong to group 1 has only 1 electron in the outermost shell. Lithium, sodium, and the potassium have the same physical properties as metals, but they also react by losing a single electron. That's a single electron from the outermost shell, forming the stable structure, the same as that of the nearest noble gas. For example, group 4 elements, which are also the nonmetals, carbon with the atomic number 6 and the electron configuration of 2 electrons in the innermost shell and the 4 electrons in the outermost shell. Silicon with the atomic number 14 are the electronic configuration of 2 electrons in the innermost shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and the 4 electrons in the outermost shell. Carbon and the silicon have the same physical properties, but they also combine with other elements by gaining 4 electrons. So this is the part of the modern periodic table in which we find the horizontal rows, which are called periods, and the vertical columns, which are called the groups. The repetition or the periodic repetition of elements with similar properties ensure that elements which fall in the same group have similar or comparable properties.